Jones.
What it do? It's your boy CP. We on the shots with Shooter. Got my bro Adam Jones with me.
I'm a king. Said I'm a king.
Got that Adictivo on deck.
Swing swords with whoever.
Right there is good right there, man.
First episode of Shots with Shooter. Got that Adictivo on deck. We just testing out brands and have some great conversation.
Man, I'm excited to try this out. So yeah, I'm excited to try this out.
I'm excited
to try this out. Yeah, I'm curious about what you got to ask. I'm curious. I'm curious like a cat. I'm curious.
Yeah, man, got to crack this bottle open, man. But for y'all that don't know, San Diego native, San Diego legend, young baseball star, originally drafted by the
Mariners.
Oh, he was drafted by the Mariners first. Then the Orioles gave you that contract.
You know, it was traded for me in 08, and then I got a contract in 12. But yeah, getting drafted out of high school, I mean, everybody's thinking, you go to college, you go to high school. I mean, you go to college or you get drafted out of high school. Me, I'm thinking like, okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna be third, fifth round. Cool. I'm just be patient with it. But then I got a call from my advisor at the time that I was drafted as the last pick in the first round. I'm sitting there in government class because it's during our finals. So I'm like, oh shit. Oh man, what am I gonna do right now? And I'm like, okay, well, I just went back into class and just whispered to him, hey, this was just what happened. I just got took it in the first round, the last pick of the first round, and my government teacher was our first base coach. Our first base coach and for a baseball team. And he understood what was going on. I gave him prior notice, and he was just happy for me. And it started the journey. A couple months later, I'm sitting there in a different environment playing baseball, and
wait.
Came to Arizona hotter than a mother. Ooh.
But what was the first thing you think when they said you got drafted? First, the last pick in the first round.
First rounder. It doesn't matter how you say it. Doesn't matter.
First rounder.
First rounder.
First rounder. But you sitting in class as a high school student like, I'm going pro. Fuck you niggas.
Hey, I was like, this government test, kiss my ass. But I knew my mom cared about it so much, so it was on the respect. I was like, my grades were always good, and I made sure of that. But I was just like, ain't no way. I went back in class. Like the rest of the day, I'm like, ain't no way. I told my friends afterwards. I'm like, ain't no way. Like there's just no way. I just got drafted right now. There's just no way. And they were all happy for me. And then I talked to my advisor that night, and my brother, family, everybody. I talked to every single person in my family that I could reach out to, and it was just like there's just no way that.
They finna let a young Southeast nigga
I'm from Southeast.
MLB.
I'm from the Southeast, man. I'm from right there where everybody's from. But they allowed me. I earned that spot to be given a chance to be seen, and that's what a lot of athletes need to understand is, and there's not athletes, all fields and all businesses. They're not just gonna give it to you. Don't give a damn what you are, who you are, unless you are obviously legacy. If you're legacy, then that's what it is. But you gotta go get your shit, and that's what I did. I had an opportunity. I seen they sent me some letters talking about, hey man, when I was a freshman, we think you're good, all that. What would you like? All this, cool. We were interested. We watched you. You came in the game. I worked my ass off. If you work in any field or industry, it's the same as any field or industry, minus notoriety. Well, first off, pay, notoriety, second. Like, I think the hardest working people in baseball or sports in general are the grounds crew in baseball, the people of the field attendants in football, the people that have to take care of the court in basketball, the change. You see right now in NBA, all these damn teams have like 15 fucking jerseys.
Right.
And they have to match the court. I'm watching the Jazz. I grew up with the Jazz wearing them ugly ass purple things with the Jazz things.
Ugly ass Jazz.
Lakers, I see your hat. Lakers used to beat the hell out the Jazz.
And everybody, the Clippers, everybody. Now we losing to all these weak ass bum ass teams.
Everybody. Damn, they got me hot, man. They losing everybody. But like the people that have to take care of the court, like, do you know how hard that is? And especially the people that have to take care of the court when it's a hockey arena, like how the Staples Center or Crypto, how that's that is a hockey arena at the same time. Like, those are people that get no notoriety,
and work the hardest.
And man, are you kidding me? They're there 2 hours before we are, maybe 3, maybe 4. And definitely 3 to 4 hours before.
Changing the court around, moving shit around.
They probably show up at 10. I show up at the games at 7. They show up at 10. I show up at 2. Game's over. I'm out in 35, 45 minutes after the game.
Quick shower.
I'm out. Okay, I'm out.
To the house.
I'm out. They still there. You see the lights. You can see the lights on.
Well, let's take a shot to that first round draft, man.
I'm saying Kenya and Kopipi. I've been to both places. Man, you need to go there if you haven't been there.
It's beautiful.
Kopipi. This is Kenya. The motherland.
Motherland.
Everybody
Take a shot
needs to go.
for the motherland. Hey. What do you think about it? I never had the reposado, but couldn't get the extra añejo, but the reposado's cool. That brand is fire, though.
That's good.
That's good. That's sweet.
Smooth.
Yeah, sweet. You can taste kind of the pineapple in
like
a little bit.
Pineapple honey.
Mm-hmm. Adictivo.
It's like it's not like a honey jack, but that's good. That's good right there.
That's smooth shit. Good. That Adictivo. I've been trying to put my people on it. Shout out to my boy Silk. He put me on the Adictivo first. Him, Sean, Big Snap.
Yeah, that right there is good right there, man. Ooh. Yeah. Kenya in the house.
So life growing up in Dago.
Yeah. Dope.
They really don't be realizing how gang manifested the city is, especially being in the southeast region. It's one of the most safest cities in America, yet in our circumference, per capita, it could be very dangerous.
Ooh.
And like, how did you maneuver through all the recruitment, all the big homies, and seeing bros, cousins growing up, gang banging, shit's going on. You seeing the flashy motherfuckers with the money, the bread, the ladies and shit. That's the shit that usually draw people in. Like, how'd you maneuver through that and then survive through high school and was able to, you got drafted, and even getting drafted, you was able to kind of keep the nonsense to the side and not end up, risking your whole career, because you see so many people do it, and especially being young out of high school. You 18, turning 19, going to MLB, you in the major leagues. Did you go? You went to the majors or the minors?
I went to the minors first. You got to
go to minors first, right? You got to go to the minors first, but you getting the check, and nobody even knows, like, you know what I'm saying? 18, you get much more though than an 18-year-old is getting being in the minors.
Hell no.
You don't think so?
Shit no. Unless you're doing nothing. You make more at McDonald's than you do an A-ball player. A AAA player, first year AAA player, you go to McDonald's, you make more.
See, this is the kind of shit that young people need to know.
You're talking about $1,200 a month. It's about 20. It might be about, with the new rules. When I was coming, it was $2,500 a month in AAA.
Well, even for $2,500 a month, motherfuckers weren't getting that back in the early 2000s or whatever.
That's $1,000 clearing. I cleared $949 every 2 weeks.
People still weren't making no $1,000 every 2. Well, they probably was making around that.
Shit.
I'm talking about like an 18-year-old.
You're playing professional baseball, killing yourself, diving. I flip burgers and burn my fingers for that shit right there, real quick.
Kill yourself diving for balls and shit.
I mean, I was fortunate enough that I had a signing bonus that allowed me to where I didn't have to struggle in the minor leagues, but also I got to the big leagues quick, so it negated all that. I didn't have to, like, I know a lot of first rounders, second rounders that got a good signing bonus that took them years to get to the big leagues, to where they really tapped into their money. I got to the big leagues quick, so when I got to the big leagues, I still had a really good chunk of money.
How long were you in the minors?
2.5 years.
2.5
before I got to the big leagues. So I still had a big chunk of my signing bonus, so that when I got to the big leagues, okay, it's my signing bonus that I still had. It's okay, now I'm starting making money.
Well, how did you manage your money, though, and not be on like some nigga shit and just, I'm out to blow it?
That's not how it worked. I mean, because when I first got my signing bonus, my first check, I'll never forget this. I shit you not. My birthday's August 1st. I signed July 22nd or 23rd. My birthday's August 1st. I know that. I got my first check on I got my first check on August 3rd. My birthday's August 1st. Just turned 18. I got a check for $462,500. What would you do?
What I would have did, I mean, it's hard to say what I would do. I mean, if I'm getting that, I'm only making $2,000 a month after taxes.
No. But see, no. See, the thing is I never got a minor league check. I'm 10 days into
What I
signing.
did my first signing,
10 days into
got
signing.
400-something thousand. I'd had to at least get a nice car. Fuck it. You know, that's what everybody do. Every nigga do. They just get a nice car. I would have got myself a nice car, and I probably would have gave my parents some money, to have and to tuck away from me that I couldn't spend, and I would have held on to the rest of my bread.
Gotcha.
But once I'd have seen the millions, like
that's different.
My bro, they
different.
always laugh at me. He always be like, "What you gonna do, man? You see your first, you get 20 million, you get 50 million. What you gonna do when you see your first chunk of cash like that?" I tell the nigga all the time, I live in a castle. I'm gonna buy a castle. I would be living like Europe somewhere in a motherfucking castle or a wing of a castle. You can buy a wing.
They're affordable.
They're affordable. If you can spend a meal for a crib out here, you could definitely go get you a wing of a castle, which is the same size as this
for $1 million.
Yeah, you can get it. Yeah, you can get a whole castle for a meal.
100%.
But if
there's
you want,
tons of countries that have a bunch of castles.
yeah, I was looking at some in London. And them motherfuckers, get you a castle for meal
Italy,
5.
you can go to Italy. You can go to France. You can go to Spain. You can go to Austria.
I know I wouldn't be sitting around with you niggas no more. I'd be in a castle. I see y'all when I see y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I've looked into it too. I think what I looked at is like I've had the same financial people since I was 17, and I grew up with the guy. He was 26 when I met him, and we kind of grew up together in the business.
Right.
He was young and hungry. I was young and hungry. He was young and hungry to make money. I'm young and hungry to get to the big leagues. And to get to the big leagues means to make money.
Right.
So we both had a strategy. He had his own personal strategy. I had my athletic strategy, and it both worked out. He made sure that, trust me, when I first got my first check, I blew 30, 40 grand at demo back in the day buying Davucci, Fat Farm.
You remember the demo?
Remember Davucci, man? Shit?
Yeah,
where's Davucci? I was rocking that. Fat Jabode, what? All the colors.
Jabode, G,
everything. All the Tims. We ain't from the East Coast.
Niggas got fashionable
What the hell am I wearing?
You gotta stand out. I'm
saying, like, I bought all that stuff. And to be honest with you, a lot of that stuff is still at my mom's crib on the west side of Phoenix. It's still at her crib.
So Seattle.
Yeah.
So moving to Seattle, terrible weather. Beautiful city, terrible weather. Pretty women, terrible weather.
Yeah.
How was that for the first couple years?
Well, I was in Tacoma, but I didn't understand. I didn't understand the big league side of it yet. I was in Tacoma. I started in Tacoma 06 and 07, and I got called up mid-season, but I stayed in Tacoma. So after every game, I would just drive back to the city. When I was called up to the big leagues, my girlfriend was in town generally at the time, so I would just drive back. And I didn't spend that much time in the big leagues with Seattle, but my time in that area of the Pacific Northwest was amazing because the weather was perfect for me. I love cool weather. Okay. Anything really 50 to 65, I love.
We from San Diego.
I know.
65.
Man, to be honest with you,
we tropical people.
To be honest with you, hey, I can give you 80 in a day, but at night I need the night to get to in the 50s.
And here we are.
I need
sunny
that. It's 60.
Arizona.
It's like 67 tonight. Like 65, I think tonight.
And we in here in sunny Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
113 average every day during the summer for about 3 months. 100 degrees, 104 at night. Right now it's cool at night, but it's got to be 69, 70 out here.
Yeah.
Where it's cool enough for us to be out here with t-shirts on. It's great living out here in Arizona, don't get me wrong, but shit. It's a little hot for a month if we want to be in the 60-degree weather.
I've spent 2 summers out here. My first summer in 2003 and my summer in 2019 when I played for the Diamondbacks. Besides that, I've not spent a summer here. I know it's hot as hell. And that's why my wife is sitting there like, hey, the summer coming, we need a second home.
This gonna be like your winter, like you gonna be like the snowbird, the Canadians.
I'm gonna be a Canadian. Yeah, I'm like I'm from Winnipeg.
Winter's not that cold. Come and stay here for the winters, and then
we're talking about going somewhere, getting a second home either at the beach or the mountains, or there's this place, this community up in Gaza. It's in Idaho. And it's like this luxury community that's golfing and everything in the summer, water sports and all. And there's a bunch of white folks out there having a great time.
Trying to have a good time too.
Ain't that? I swear, I'm telling you, all these places I've been to a few of them. Ain't no black people. Ain't many. And the thing is, I want to be part of the group. I want to be part of the shit that's it's getting. Of course, I want to be part of the wealth group. I want to know what they're knowing. I want to be a part of the investments they're investing in. But also, I want my people to be there too.
Right.
Like, you can't just say a country club is just for white folks. When you think of country club, as a kid, when I think of country club, I think white folks.
Right.
So all the country club. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I think, is the first show that showed us country club life and controversy at the country club. Will with his hair out, and they was like, "Oh, you got to cover that shit." And you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what?
Like,
and we don't see that, right? It sucks that because our people are so close-minded to so many other things. You know, I got a homie. Sometimes he tell me, "Oh man, you be on that white people shit." Cause I want to do things and experiences in life. I see shit that they doing.
That shit ain't white people shit.
It's not white people shit. It's like people shit. It's like,
that shit ain't white people
have
shit,
fun.
man.
You got one chance to live. Like, we was dodging bullets and shit. Niggas thought they was Superman and shit. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like, motherfucker could have died for much less. Let alone, why not have these great experiences and go and see the world and try new things that you never done before? And it's like, you here for a short amount of time. God gave you all these abilities to be able to do things and make shit that can fly. You know, they got hovercrafts now. They got, you know, you could be in the water and then you be flying on the water with the little hover boot shit and all.
Yeah, I've done that before and I fell on my face. No, let me say this. I'm gonna say this thing. Ain't a damn thing in this world white people shit.
Well, I concur. There's one thing that's white people shit.
What?
I post it all the time. I just can't understand it. Don't make no sense to me.
What is it?
White people down there touching great white sharks and shit in the ocean. That's not. It's one thing. It's one thing to be in the cage.
Okay,
they be down there.
I want to do in the cage.
Listen.
But they are researchers and they've been trained to do it.
Listen,
if they get bit, they've been trained to do it.
White people think they God's gift to wild animals. Them motherfuckers be down there in the ocean.
They have
sharks feet.
They have looked for. They have discovered damn near everything. We ain't discovering shit that ain't just there.
Once they discovered, they discovered shit that's already there. That's what they discovered. But some wild radical shit like that,
they discovered. But I'm saying is like,
that's my limit. I do a lot of shit, but I ain't going down there no big ass shark with razor sharp teeth and watching him eat shit, and then he's swimming by me, and I'm taking pictures in front of him while he swims over my head, and I'm touching on his belly. You got me fucked up. I ain't taking it. It means just so quickly. Cave. Listen, I done been in water with a dolphin, and they look cute, and they look fun, and they are fun from a distance. When you get in the water with that big mammal and you can't even see it swim by, and it smack you in the leg with its tail, and you get to feel the power of just his tail, then they talking about get a dolphin a hug, hold his fins, and you feel his body, and then they nothing but muscle, and then they're like, the dolphin's gonna push you, and then you go from like 0 to 50 miles an hour in like a half a second. You get to understanding that in water ain't a motherfucking thing you can do to any one of them big old mammal fish, whatever. Nothing. A dolphin, a shark, a walrus, a sea lion, whatever you want to think of, a whale. You're done. Like Tilikum.
You don't see them.
Tilikum killed that white lady
easily. I watched that.
Grabbed her by the hair, drug her to the bottom, and slammed her. We don't want to laugh at it. It's not funny. Drug her to the bottom of the fucking tank, slamming her around there. Knew he was killing her, killed her. That was like the fourth person he killed. We do not belong in water, in captivity, or in oceans with killer whales. His name is Killer. His first name Killer.
We belong on the beach at a very shallow.
Even if you go deeper in the ocean, I've been on boats, went deeper and went snorkeling and shit like that.
That's fine. But you're not
deep sea diving.
We do not need to
for sharks.
We do not need to be bothering them.
Right.
At that level.
Right.
No. Especially in captivity, because they have abilities to talk to each other that they've been here way before us.
And they ain't
so
dogs.
You think they can't talk?
They're not dogs. Dogs understand,
can talk
like,
too, though.
Yeah, and
they dumb as hell, but they can talk.
Yeah, and they can understand, like, you can give them 1 to 2 word, you know, sentences to do something. Tell them, like, I tell my dog go home, they go to the kennel. They understand what home means. You can talk to them, they communicate a little bit and tell you what the fuck they need, and vice versa. But a shark, get the fuck out of here.
All right. But I was gonna say this back then too was about we're talking about like white people things. Like when we do things, and like where we grew up, if you do certain things, they're gonna say, "Oh, white folks, you acting white. You do white people things." No, We both traveled the world in different parts. How many necessarily white people do you see when you go to places? It's
everybody.
It's everybody else.
Everybody else but black people.
It's everybody else.
Sometimes you see some black people. It depends. If you go to nigga spots like Columbia or something on buy some pussy.
No, I swear to God.
You see some of them motherfuckers over there. You might see them grouping niggas in like DR or something. You they just like, looking for bitches, but they're not really exploring. Like me, I'm going to places, museums, castles, all that shit. I want to see history. I want to learn about the culture. But you see everybody's people.
We went to
Africans, everyone.
We went to Giraffe Manor in Kenya. I highly recommend it. Amazing. Giraffes come out there early in the morning. Little bastards be all in your shit, eating your food, giving pebbles. Little long neck, long tongue bastards. But there was 2 black couples there, and obviously it's Kenya, but it's a high end resort. It's very expensive, and we're like 2 black couples. Like we immediately engaged in conversation. Again, we're going to engage in conversation with whoever's there. Right. So don't think that I'm not going to engage with anybody.
We're going to get our people.
Hey, no, black people are the most engaging motherfuckers out there in the world. Okay, family. We forgive every damn.
That's how we ended up on them damn shit.
We've been forgiving everybody forever. Okay,
we ended up on the shit.
People think that we aggressive. We ain't the aggressive ones. Yeah. We the ones we react to you.
Kindly,
you hit us. God damn it,
we're gonna fight back.
You hit us. I mean, but we ain't gonna just go knock the shit out you just to do it.
Right.
But
unless you're in the ghetto, you can put them in a situation where they can't survive. Now they got to take.
But then white folks do that, Mexicans do that, Asians do that.
Everybody does.
You put anybody in the damn hood. You put anybody in. It's like a rat. You watched Fast and the Furious when the dude put the rat on this dude's stomach. How the rat got to get out of somewhere?
And he put the heat on it.
Did anybody tell that rat what race he is?
Right.
What race is that rat? The rat is a damn fucking rat.
He's a rat.
The rat needs to get out.
Exactly. He could be anything he wanted to be. But he needed to get out of that situation. He was going to die from suffocation.
Exactly.
And that shit burning. It was hot. He had to get out of there. That's the same thing as black people in the ghetto. We got to get the fuck out of that motherfucker.
And how do you get out of it? You figure out a way. Now, sometimes is it the correct way? Like the rat was going to have to go through his stomach. Is that the correct way? No.
That was the only way for him.
Exactly.
He couldn't get through the metal.
Exactly.
Or it'd take him a longer.
My brother told me this a long time ago. He said, man, you ever had like just 2 options and one was just terrible? So he looked at me and he's like, you got all options and all of them are good. So like, embrace it.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I things you just have to understand. But it's like when you travel the world, you see the world. I was in Maldives. We seen 1 white couple in the Maldives 2 couples in the Maldives we were there for 9 days.
Right.
8 days. We seen 2 couples that were American. All the other couples, everything else with kids, everybody was from somewhere else. Like in the world. London, London, Dubai. They were they were either from India, they could be from China, Singapore, Australia, Paris. I mean, that could be from anywhere. But it's just saying like Americans are just so tied into like, I need to go to Tulum, pour that up. I need to go to Tulum.
You want to go to the most basic
Tulum
shit
is great.
Ever.
Hey, Tulum is beautiful. Everybody fucking been there.
Right.
It's right around the corner.
Everybody named Mama
I get it.
there.
I get it.
And it's Americanized. All these spots are Americanized.
Exactly. But I get it though, and I respect it because a lot of people can't take off a week off.
Them. But you know that's what the country feeds them.
But a lot of people can't take a week off.
They tell you that it's not safe to leave the country, right? As if America isn't the most unsafe place in the world. You know, go to Las Vegas, somebody's killing 50 people, shooting from up top at a concert. Churches getting shot up with old black women in it. Your kids going to school. A kid is bringing guns, or an adult's bringing guns and shooting up kids. I mean, everywhere you go in America, something crazy is happening. People in Walmart shopping, a guy comes over to AK and just starts shooting everyone.
Who the fuck is that?
That's in Texas. Just because he was wanting to kill Mexicans. And even out here in Westgate.
What kill Mexicans for?
Westgate, like a year or 2 ago, a guy had a big old assault rifle and he was mad. He seen couples in love, so he just walked around at Westgate and started shooting couples that he seen. Like, this is America. Gun violence and everything is off the chain. If you can survive here, you can go to any country you like and make your way.
I was in Japan for the last 2 years, and they would be like, America dangerous, guns. You like, and I'm sitting there like, yeah.
You ain't lying, motherfucker.
Japan, you might get 1 gun violence charge a year in the country. 130 million people.
What they doing with them samurais though? They chopping motherfuckers.
They stopped the samurai in 1800s, mid 1800s, I believe.
But that's pretty cool.
I did a whole thing with the family. We all did an entire samurai lesson, dressed up, did the whole thing.
Yeah,
the history of the samurai is amazing. I got one being made.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta get a whole dope ass sword. You sit down Indian style and shit. Them motherfucking samurais was hardcore. Like if they was about to accept defeat or something like that, they carry their stuff on the summit and then make it like a square shape and basically cut and sever their arteries or whatever, and just lay there and just bleed out and die real quick and fall forward. Like that was some crazy shit. The life of a samurai.
Hell to the no.
And I'm deep in history of like all kinds of cultures. People like, how the fuck you know all this shit? Like they be thinking I'm just some ghetto ass hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? I used to gang bang. Well, like I'm not an active member like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's like
we all got ties.
I've been
ties.
I used to, it's crazy. Motherfucker went from people can't tell me shit. Motherfucker went from being locked up, felonies and all this shit to I done worked in corporate America, seen the world, started my own business and got out of the lifestyle that I was in, to get better. I had a kid now and I wanted to see things. I had aspirations for life. I've seen enough of my people go down for nothing, spending their life. I call my bro, call me all the time from prison, multiple ones. Some got phones, text me and call me from their personal phones, and I keep money on the phone for the wall when they call me on the jack. But we 35 this year. And motherfuckers been in prison since they was fresh 18. That means that half of their life they've already spent, and they're going to end up in the next year or two. You're going to have spent more time in prison than you spent on the street with freedom, and that's how they do it.
But again, they ain't spent. They on the street. They spent like 2 years,
right?
Because you've been at your mama's house.
Man,
like don't be friendly. You gotta forget that. To be in the day, you gotta grow up. You gotta grow up.
Right? Like, didn't get a chance to grow up.
You gotta grow up.
Growing up in prison.
No, you grew up in prison. Everything that you know is in prison, and we all got friends in that situation, and
that's why I talk to these cats.
It's a travesty, man, because I get it.
Man, we're gonna toast to freedom, man.
Yeah, talk to freedom,
toast
man.
to freedom.
Sheesh.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's rough though.
But I'm saying I get that, and at the same time, it's like I've been in situations to where you can resort to violence, you can choose violence, there's a lot of different, there's always multiple avenues. So again, my brother, again, I always refer to that when I always think of things. My brother said there's, options. It depends how many options you have. Sometimes you have one option. And it is what it is. It's me or you.
Right.
That just is what it is. There's nothing else around that. There's no talking it through. You would have talked it through before it got to me or you.
And I understand.
There's times
sometimes it's me or you, and I'm thinking that way every time I leave the country.
Yeah.
I used to think in my head though, expect the worst, pray for the best. Now I just expect the best out of every situation. Mm-hmm. But even when I'm traveling, I travel alone. Half of all my travels at least, and I've been in, even walking through Paris. It's kind of dirty New Yorkish walking through Paris. It can be real grimy, and I'm trying to find some more scooters to zoom through, and bikes and shit, electric bikes to zoom through, so I can hurry up and get to my hotel. Yeah, wifey sharp. She wants you to have a good time and not have to really trip out on the lose the experience worrying about what other people are doing. Paris is fairly safe, but Europe can be dangerous too. They model a lot of these countries model themselves after the States. They want the gangster. Like you start seeing all these UK dramas with black gangs and shit like that.
Are you kidding me though? I've watched every single thing about that.
Top Boy and shit. I love Top Boy yet. I haven't seen that one yet. But I've seen Blue Story. Have you seen Blue Story?
I have seen that. Top Boy is exactly what they want. But again, you got I've been to Jamaica also. I think you've been to Jamaica too.
Fuck yeah.
Exactly. And but they had that. America is the biggest gangsters in the world. No matter how you try to
100%.
put it, biggest gangsters in the world, biggest bullies, because they had it.
Man.
But I'm saying it's like I think the biggest thing though is you have to you got to see the world, man. You have to expand your world. Even if I think that a lot of people where we're from enjoy Mexico because comfortability of being around Mexicans of San Diego, Phoenix, Dallas. You're around Mexicans all the time. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It's just you are.
Right.
Like half my friends are Mexicans. Just is what it is. Half your friends are Mexicans.
Yeah, and Polynesians. A lot of Samoans,
Tongan, the Filipinos.
Exactly, Filipinos.
Tons of them,
San Diego and Samoans. That's what I'm telling people. We grew up with them.
So I think Mexico is just comfortable. But why not expand it Because if you have the half a fucking brain, you would think that Belize has speaks
Right.
Spanish. You would think Honduras speaks Spanish.
Costa
You would think
Rica.
Costa Rica.
All the way on down. Every
Costa
Latin
Rica.
American country that
Speaks
speaks Spanish except Brazil. And
You
it's
know what I
like
mean?
I'm actually
Go down there.
I actually have.
Oh, I see Argentina
I
right
have
now.
a travel business that I'm doing
Out
right
about
now. I have a travel business I'm starting up right now, and I'm getting some of the people that I know that want to take travels. And then one of them.
My wife
asked me,
just
"What
started
about-
one too. I was
What
about
about
to say that.
Tulum?" They're like, "What about Tulum?" And I'm like, "Well, fuck Tulum." You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes there.
everybody been in
Like, I want to
Tulum.
give you guys a better experience than an Americanized experience. And it's like, even with my travel package I'm doing with, between hotels, excursions, flights, and all that stuff, it's like, I got a great camera. I'm personalized pictures and video to go with them.
Mhm.
Give you a personalized video, and like, say it's your birthday.
Yeah.
So then all your friends that's with you, I'm gonna catch them on a one-on-one and give you their birthday shout outs, say some things about you and all that kind of shit. I'm gonna edit your video, and that one's gonna be special for you. But then y'all together, I'm gonna send out group videos, and then you got individual pictures, group pictures. You're gonna get content to post on the gram. So that's gonna be part of my package that I'm doing.
The whole shebang.
And even maybe with your wife, maybe we can work something out.
I'm telling you,
I want to travel. Maybe she got people going, because I'm gonna travel with her. I'm gonna be their travel concierge and travel companion. So even if they want one-on-one travel, say somebody wants to go places, don't have any friends that can go with them, don't have friends, whatever the fuck, and it's like they want to pay me a per diem, and my travels to go with them, and we're gonna go do some shit. You want to rock climb? You want to go in a hot lava, mud pool? You want to go sky, wind surfing, all of those shit that I've been telling people about.
Everything. Do
whatever you want to do. Let's do it. We're going to do it. We're going to hike mountains. We're going to do all this shit. I'm going to roll with you. You want to party and all that shit. I'm going to come out with you, make sure
But
you're
where
straight.
we from? What do they call that?
Yes, they think it's white people's shit. And
No, it's
like,
not.
Let's have a good time. You only here on this earth for however long that God grants you.
But I'm saying, but people don't realize there's way more people of color than white people in this world.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
Oh my God.
There's way more people.
Look how many people say Africa by itself. And then look,
Africa by itself eats a lot of
even Central America and South America.
Eats a lot of Europe.
Everybody came from the slave trade. Every single one of them countries have African history.
They dark.
And they know it.
You
And
can't
they're
get dark.
people.
You can't get dark but from one place.
Right.
Pigmentation
Pigmentation is
You can't
there.
get a wide nose but from one place.
And as far as Jamaica goes, I'll tell you a story about Jamaica. You're talking about dangerous. Listen, my first trip out the country, I went to Jamaica and the DR back to back. That was my birthday trip when I turned 30, right? And what I did was, no. How old was I turn? Did I turn 30? Was that my first trip when I turned 30? Yeah, it was 2017. Yeah, so that was my first trip. Turned 30. So going through a midlife crisis, right? I'm thinking 30 is fucking old as shit. It's the end of the road for me. I'm still single. I'm only turning 30 years old. Fuck. But no, look. So I rented a car in Jamaica. They charge you all this extra. They charge you their own personal insurance. It's not refundable. It's $700 if you didn't have like a world visa or some shit. Not a regular visa, but a world one.
For sure.
So they charged me an extra $700 just to rent it. And then I stayed in Kingston. I can speak Patois. So,
You speak Patois?
Yeah, I can speak Patois and I can speak Spanish. So, I kind of get around. So, I drove around Kingston, went by the university, all the shit. It was crazy. Seen some ghetto ass hood places. But I drove to Montego Bay. Stayed there for a few days, had a blast.
That's what I said.
It was like a 3.5 hour drive maybe from Kingston up to Tea Tree, all that shit. So, went by Runaway Bay, got to see the whole country's coastal line, the rainforest and coastal shit, all that. But in Montego Bay at a gas station, a motherfucker was getting to it. These two dudes was getting to it. This girl, they ran up on the girl, right? She was walking in the gas station, ran up on the girl, and it was like, you should come with me. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, back up and let me go. You know what I'm saying? She's all this shit, right? So they and then both of them, they ran up. One of them jump kicked at her, and then she jump kicked back. I thought they was playing. I'm like, ain't no fucking way, bruh. So and then they was pulling on her, and then all of a sudden they was like, bitch, you come with me. And all of a sudden this motherfucking Black John Wayne motherfucker just popped up out of nowhere and was like, let the queen go, me shoot you. You know what I'm saying? They like, back up, man, you mind your business. You know what I'm saying? Telling them to get the fuck on, right? And they, the queen, he's like, the queen come with me. So dude pull out a gun, he about to bust. So I'm at the gas station, lady pumping. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, we in Dago again, we in Cali. Oh, I'm out of here. So I take off running, right? Cause niggas about to start busting, but they got no name. You know what I'm saying? And then
never had one.
I run and get it behind this van to protect myself. I'm looking, and then they backed up off. They let the girl go, but they didn't even really move. They weren't even scared. Like human life don't even mean shit in Jamaica. Like motherfucker wasn't even scared. Motherfucker got the pistol on him and was like, nigga, back up. So then I went inside the store and I was waiting. Everybody was just looking. And then, you know, once the police was getting there, dude just put his gun back in his strap. His holster was like, these motherfuckers, he just Hollywood and all this shit. I'm like, and then I go back to my car and the girl like, you faster than Usain Bolt. You faster than Usain Bolt. You know, your feet move faster than Usain Bolt. You know, I'm like, I'm cracking the fuck. I'm like, shit, bitch, you wasn't scared? You fucking got a gun. He about to start busting.
See, that's the thing. I don't want to put myself in any of those positions
at a gas
anymore.
station. I'm heading to Ultra Reels. I'm heading to Ultra.
I don't want to put myself in it. So it's like when we go on trips, like it's mandatory that
security and all that shit.
No, I don't get security. I don't need security. I need car service. I don't. And again, if you get car service, the car has to be filled. Has to be full.
How do you have gas?
I've never stopped at a gas station with car service, and my wife knows that. And like, my wife knows I need we fly private on certain things. If it's certain trips, we fly private on. But majority of the time, we just fly first class. Okay, I'm not flying coach. I will, but I'm not bougie enough to not fly Southwest.
You know, I've only flown business. I've flown kind of first class, like locally, but like out the country, I've only got like one business trip, and that was on our way to Madrid. Me and Buck, we flew to Madrid, and actually I was regular, but since there was so much seating in business, I was able to, you know, the flight attendant was like, you know, you can go sit with your friend up there in the business. So we sat in the business, free drinks, we got fucked up, we take an edible, I took an edible or shit like that. The nigga had an amazing flight in business, but that was the only time I ever really flown out the country.
And my wife right now, she's flying business right now to Argentina,
and she got leg room, all that shit. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing.
That shit's gonna slide under, and it's like sitting where we're at right now. She's gonna be able to slide under
and recline like a bed
and go straight to sleep. And my kids have been back and forth to Japan, Singapore. They've been to Dubai, Maldives. They've been Qatar, and they've all flown.
I see you hiding your chain.
They've all flown.
I see you hiding your chain, Big Money. He got the bling bling on. He hiding the bling bling.
Hey man, he got a nice ring, you know, a nice necklace. Hey man, I always say this. I'm from where I'm from. I never forgot where I'm from.
100%.
But at the same time, I'm not gonna not enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm not gonna make myself like my financial people a long time ago told me money's for a few things. They're for health. They're for inconveniences, and they're for a few other fun things.
Hell yeah!
I'm saying, but it's like it's not necessarily like there's just so many. Right now, we live in such a materialistic society that everybody thinks that everybody wants to have what Diddy has. You ain't got Diddy's fucking income,
right? You ain't got Diddy money. I got a cousin. He got three kids, 3 baby mamas, right? And I told that nigga, I said, "What's wrong with you? He's a motherfucking fool. He already on child support, getting broke off." I'm trying to be like Nick Cannon. I said, "Nigga, you ain't got Nick Cannon money."
First off, you didn't start like Nick Cannon. You didn't start like him. First off, Nick Cannon, you got to understand. Nick Cannon start, and then he got with Mariah Carey. He had 2 kids, and then he's all over every freaking TV on like. You can't live your life looking at someone else's. You can't count someone else's money. Like, again, Kim Kardashian is one of the most famous people out in the world. You cannot live your life thinking that you're going to fucking be her.
Right.
It's not going to work out.
Right. You got to be.
It's not going to work out.
At the end of the day, you always
she is who she is. Like, she created the industry of whatever the industry is. In that regards, there's no brand new. You can't be brand new.
Well, let me ask you
on
this.
The shit. And she's fucking rich as the motherfucking.
Yeah,
her soul, her family.
Billy.
Between her and Kanye, that was the mom, the cousin. I mean, the mom, the sisters.
Y'all got that OnlyFans, so y'all fucking up. Y'all got that OnlyFans. You're supposed to hold on to that sex tape.
Hey man,
somebody got blow and then you release it.
But I'm saying no one cares about that shit now.
Nobody cares about it now. I met Kim back when, you know, I grew up with Reggie.
Yeah.
So I met Kim way back in those days, his birthday and shit. I met Kim and Chloe and the other sister. And they was some of the coolest, sweetest people. And, you know, and they wasn't as rich as they are now, but they was already still dummy rich. Then.
They were already in a great position because father was the lawyer.
Kardashian, for
but I'm saying it's like,
And she made that little money off of the sex tape too, but
I hated on them in a way of like I don't want to watch their show and promote that shit because I don't want other females. I think that other girls shouldn't be like them.
Right.
At the same time, I think that what they've done is brilliant in terms of
branding for themselves and their
branding
family.
and monopolizing their brands. Like they all have brands of whatever they have. If it's even if it's Rob, he has socks.
Right.
Like yes, they all have brands because people want to work with him because that last name is obviously extremely
right.
powerful. But it's like I don't want people to think that that's the way you need to be.
Right.
But I like how they have evolved to where they use their platforms for women empowerment.
Right.
You know,
and helping people get out of prison.
Prison.
You know, I
like that.
Kim has a great heart.
I like how people use their platforms because it's like, okay, I get it. Rich is awesome. Having money, having more money than you thought that you would have is fucking awesome.
Right.
I'm an example of it. But at the same time, being able to impact your folks, being able I get messages all the time from kids that are in college, white, black, or indifferent. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you hit me up about baseball and you want some advice about baseball, I'm gonna respond to you.
Right.
Because baseball is my passion. Baseball is my love, and I grew up, and it's a sport. Baseball is not a color. And I want to help you. I want to help you evolve with that shit.
When I was a kid, I did think it was some boring white boy shit. I understand, you get minorities, you had Sammy Sosa and these guys come through out of nowhere. I mean, you got Jackie Robinson first, one of the first black baseball players ever to really do with the shit that he did. Like, I get it. Like, when I grew up and I understood baseball money and why people play it, and it's like I always felt like playing it organized. When I played for the Encanto Black Sox and shit, and come up in Dago playing for Encanto League, I felt like it was organized. It was so boring. It was too slow. Being more into basketball and football.
Sure.
But this sport it's a lot less danger and trauma to your body and a lot more money.
But it's not that. Baseball is one thing that they when they talk about baseball, there's always one thing that they always fail to mention. Baseball is taught one way. Father to son.
That's real.
Now think about that. Think about our generation. Think about our parents' generation. Then when they had other my parents knew their parents, and I'm saying I know my parents. But again, it's like how many of our friends,
don't
peers
really have their mom and dad there?
Exactly. Dope. Prison, which is dope. Again, there's a lot of different. We can think of a lot of different reasons.
I'm 100% with you.
But I'm saying, baseball is taught from father to son. Baseball in the black community is the greatest sport. When you talk to somebody who's about 60 years old or above about baseball, they light the fuck up.
Right.
Because they talk about.
That's the true American sport.
They don't talk about just Jackie Robinson.
Right.
They talk about Tony Gwynn. They talk about Ozzie Smith. They talk about Frank Robinson. They talk about Rod Carew. They talk about all these black dudes, these black heroes like Eddie Murray. They talk about Dave Winfield, probably the great one. I mean, Dave Winfield has to be one of the top 10 greatest athletes of all time. Drafted in 3 sports in the first round. No person in the history of any sport ever has ever had that. First round of 3 major sports.
Right.
Jim Thorpe, Indian dude.
Bo Jackson, man.
Bo Jackson,
one of the greatest.
Our parents talk about that. Our parents talk about that. We don't talk about that. We talk about everything quick. We don't talk about the longevity of anything.
And that's the problem with us. We're in a rush to get everything so fast in the black community. It's like when you don't have things, you don't have anybody that really put you up on it. And it's like, everybody's in a rush to get to the money right away, right now. And that's why we sell ourselves short. Yep. We sell the dope. We do all these things because we don't have parents to teach us this long game. I got a realtor homegirl, and she was talking to me about, I get you $500,000 for your house right now. Yeah, it was more than double than what I paid for it when I bought it. But I told her, the market and everything where it's at, and it's going up.
What are you gonna get for that money?
What are you gonna get for that money? And she's like, but you can have $200,000 in your pocket right now. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, but you just told me the market's probably gonna go up another 15-18% in June. I said, so why sell now when I can wait to June and get more money? I said, when it comes to having money, I like to have it right now, but this is a long game. Money's a long game.
It's a long game.
We don't want short money. We want long money.
Hey, I told Candy as a kid. I remember when $100 was
something.
$100 was
We went to the mall.
2-3
Get some
weeks.
gear.
But I mean, $100 was maybe 2-3 weeks of school lunch.
Right.
$100 now ain't shit. My kids, like, just be like, oh, Dad, I need $100 for Robux, for these games.
Yeah, my daughter and then
These,
Roblox. I
like,
keep telling them, why you
Roblox.
spend all your money on digital currency and buy digital shit that's not tangible, that you can't keep. You know, when they come with another game, it's over.
But see, right now, what I'm trying to do is like, okay, my kids are involved in this. I see myself spending money on this. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe let me try and invest in this thing because it's not going away.
Right.
I think crypto's not going away.
No, not at all.
I think there's going to be, obviously there's going to be a regulation. You can't have 80 fucking cryptocurrencies. Again, sole opinion. You can't have 80 of anything in one world. You just can't. Especially in a digital, because we got the internet. The internet is the internet. Now you have securities where, you know, certain countries can block all things. But when it comes to digital currency, it's going to have to be 2 or 3.
That's why Apple Pay. Look, that's why Apple Pay and Google Pay is so big as it is right now. And almost everybody is accepting it because digital currency is everything. Like money that you've never seen. Like a lot of time I don't even transfer money to my bank account that people send me to pay me to do certain things. If I get paid through Apple Pay, I'll keep it on there. And what I'll do is you can pay for so many things online, but you can use Apple Pay on Postmates and all that shit, or food Venmo, on it.
Keep it on Venmo.
I go to the gas station instead of using my card at the gas pumps and all that shit. I'll use it on there.
But with that, you lose points. You lose things. You need your card for points.
Yeah, you got
the points. You want to fly, you want to travel.
Safety.
Like, I didn't realize, and my mom told me this. Rest her soul. I miss that woman so damn much. But
we just shot for mom.
Take a shot. I miss y'all. And that woman,
take a shot for mom.
Oof, that woman can drink some fucking tequila. I miss that woman. Ooh, she can drink tequila. But she told me years ago, oh, get a Southwest card. I'm like, no, Mom, I don't need no Southwest card. I don't care about all that shit. This is like 05, 06. I don't need all that. And then I got my Amex in 2011. I just signed my contract. No, I got my Amex before I signed my contract. But I was making like I was slated to make like 6. And I'm like, so I finally got my black card, and I'm 25, like with a black card, like.
You see that motherfucker? You see that black card? I ain't never seen it. I heard it's like a dagger. You
ignorant
to a motherfucker.
I'm like sitting there looking at it like I'm an ignorant motherfucker, man. I got this, like, and I swiped it. My mom's like, get a Southwest card, and like. She told me again. She told me this before, and this is before I got my money, and I was like, I'll find Southwest everywhere. Anywhere I went, I'll find Southwest because I'm from San Diego. Southwest is the hub. Phoenix hub. There's a lot of hubs, whatever. But then I got my black card. I started spending money. I started just swiping. I made more money. So I started swiping. And I got my big contract. Swipe. Even fucking swipe that motherfucker.
So look.
And then, but I'm saying, like, I should have got the Southwest card in like 2006, 2007. And I would have had so much freaking money towards free flights, towards everything. And I got it now I got points for American Express. I got my American Airlines card,
Delta card, whatever the fuck card.
I got those, but I got those in the last 4 years.
Right.
I wish I had that
back when you were spending money like crazy.
But I wish I had it in like 2006, 2007. Just like to build up. Right. And, you know, it's great that my mom had all that.
Nigga been flying for free for years.
I could have been. My mom flew free to Baltimore for free. Like, Mom, come to Baltimore. Okay, I can get there. Shit, free. I've been fucking building up points for the last 20 years, Adam. And she used to always tell that. She should look at me and be like, why don't you just get these points? Now I've got them through these other apps, and I got just tons of points through these because we book, knock on wood, and shit, it is what it is. We go business, so you get the triple points and all that kind of stuff. But it like
still have been going crazy.
No, travel, man. Like,
that's the best thing
I'm
ever.
telling you.
That's how I got to the DR last year.
You been to Barcelona?
I didn't go to Barcelona. I went to Madrid and I went to Ibiza. I wanted to go to Barcelona, but look what ended up happening. That shit fire, huh? No. We went to Ibiza. We were supposed to just day party in Ibiza on a Sunday, right? That's a shot in here too. Just to let you know.
I know. I went to Mallorca, not Ibiza.
We went to Mallorca and Minorca. Those are the twin islands for big party too. But we ended up in Ibiza for 3 days, and we were supposed to go to Barcelona or back to Madrid. But Ibiza was so beautiful and so much fun. We had fun walking around that city and getting and doing what everything we was doing. The beach, everything was beautiful. It's like, man, you gotta love it. But traveling's been everything to me, and that's what I'm trying to get back to. But you brought up the baseball and the contract a few times.
Yeah.
What was your first major when you was like, was year 6 or 7 you hit for $85 million contract?
Yep.
What the fuck did you do? What was your first big major transaction? Like, what the fuck did you, when you got that money, when you signed that contract, you was jumping on the couch. You should have never gave these niggas money.
Yeah, but I mean, that contract was. It
well deserved at that time.
Shit. And again, if I waited, I could have got more. Knock on wood, the sports world is all about ifs. People told me if you waited, you could have got 120. You could have got 150. What if I fucking broke my neck?
Right.
What if I ran into one, shattered my fucking...
That's a good perspective on it.
I got 85. If you can't...
It wasn't the end of it after that 85.
But I'm saying, if you can't sustain that through a lifetime, that's your fucking fault, and you deserve to be broke.
Right.
But my looking at it is like, this team wanted to invest in me. They wanted to give me a dickload of money to be the face of their franchise, to be part of their franchise for a certain amount of time. And I looked at it as like, hey, I appreciate it. I'm from where I'm from. This is fine. This is life-changing money. I went to my financial people, and I talked to my agent and my financial people through the entire process. And I told my financial people that what we're talking about the entire process, and they just created projections of how it would last, how it could last. Not it would, how it could last. And I'm just like, this is generational type money.
Right. I mean, honestly, you could spend them with the how much money you receive, and with generational wealth start at $3 million, so you're at 85. But look, you could spend $1 million a year and still be profiting off of the money that you get for just having it in the bank.
Crazy part is, I can spend $1 million a year. That'd be sliding. That $1 million a year would be sliding my worst projections that I put out for myself. Because if you told that to my financial advisor right now, he'd sit and jack off. I swear to God, he'd be like, he would do that. Oh yes, spend that. I would love
only $1 million.
If I spent only $1 million a year, he would fucking be like, yes. Fuck yes, dude. That's all you spent.
And here I am trying to figure out how I'm gonna get my first milli, and he'd be spending more than $1 million. That's what I'm saying. But it's inspiring to me. Like some people, but are haters. I'm inspired. Like I can't wait till I get to that point.
But the thing is, it's not just about how much you spend. It's not necessarily how you spend. You got to look at it. It's not what you spend. No, necessarily. It's not how you spend it. It's what you spend it on. I mean, investments, money reinvested into things.
That's most important.
Emergency funds with family. I told my financial advisor, I said, look, give me as much money as you can with growth. How much money can I spend? No matter what, I can just blow this money, but I'm still growing.
Right.
In my portfolio. Give me all, and once I hit that, once I hit that mark a month, stop it, stop everything. Once I hit that part where it's like you impeded the growth, or maybe it's 6 months because growth takes time, or even a quarter. Like if I'm spending too much over over 4 months, over 6 months, tell me. If I'm under the budget of it, don't say shit. If I'm creeping at the budget, tell me. Like, right. Hey, you're creeping at the budget. Because my whole thing is, I want to be in the area where my money is always profitable. I want to spend less than I'm making.
Always. Big Meech said that. Big Meech said you should only try to spend 10% of what you make if you can. If you got it like that.
I mean, but
10% of 85 million is 8.5 million.
That's Big Meech.
So that's still I'm saying even if you make 85 and you only spend 8.5, that's still a long way.
But again, have taxes.
Well, yeah, have taxes, but
then you got to incorporate another 8% of managing and incorporation fees and all the other fees
Right.
of just the business, and then your own living style. Stephen A. Smith said it perfectly. For every dollar, he looks at, obviously he signed $8 million a year. He looks at every dollar he makes is 27 cents per dollar. Because he got taxes. Inevitable. He's in New York. No matter where it's at, he's in New York. So he has to pay those. Agent fees. Lifestyle. People don't say lifestyle. Like, Duck, I want caviar. I want to live like I'm living right now.
I'm be a motherfucking king.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, if I had, I'll tell my brother.
Like, I love my house right now. I love this house.
That's what I told him. I said, I'd buy a castle if I lived in America. I'd just build myself a compound. I said, but listen, I thought we wouldn't go too crazy. I said, but I definitely have me a big ass motherfucking robe, and a nice crown, golden crown, and a motherfucking scepter. I said, I would definitely walk around like a motherfucking king. I was like, but outside of that, I thought I would probably buy one supercar and then a pickup truck and a daily driver, like maybe a little Benz S63 or something like that to drive around in, and that would be all my transactions. That would be all my big purchases.
That's how the majority of the rich live. Number one vehicle sold to the rich, the number 1% is what?
Mercedes-Benz.
No.
Honda.
No. Number one vehicle sold to the rich is what? Take a shot. Come on, think about it.
It's not a Benz or a Honda.
Hey, to all our folks, man, out there in Southeast San Diego, we love you, baby. Think about it. Think about it. Number one vehicle sold.
I'm a Freeze Elementary, baby. I went to Freeze, went to O'Farrell, went to Lemon Grove Middle, went to Helix. All those.
Think of the number one vehicle sold to the rich.
Number one vehicle sold to the rich.
To the rich. Is what? What do rich people do? What's the number one vehicle sold to the rich?
That's a hard one.
It's not a hard one. It's actually very fucking easy because
it doesn't sound like it's a luxury car.
You see this vehicle on a daily basis, but you don't think that the person driving it is rich.
But the person driving it is a Toyota or a hybrid.
No.
They definitely drive electric.
No, they're not. Number one vehicle sold to the rich.
I
give you one more guess. Cause
Cadillac.
No, that's black.
Well, yeah.
You didn't see the Chappelle show.
People like
vehicle sold to the rich.
People like to drive them Escalades, though.
Number one vehicle sold to the rich.
Suburban.
F-150.
F-150. America's truck. Fuck, I didn't get that. Everybody has America's truck.
You see it every.
I got one. I got America's truck. Yeah, I pulled up in America's truck.
I got a Raptor. F-150, but it's the Raptor. Nonetheless, it's F-150, but it's the super.
Which edition did you get the Raptor?
Mine's is I got mine's in 13.
My bro Buck, he got a 2018.
They got a new one. V6 bitch shit.
Back to it though. So you're here for the $85 million. What was your biggest purchase that you did? The house?
My house. Yeah, I bought a house.
Outside of a home, though.
That's my.
What was something that you just knew? You went crazy.
My Raptor.
So you did 100 bands on a Raptor?
No, I bought 70 grand. And
that was your biggest transaction, like your biggest just winning. When you win
because at the end of the day, I understood that the money is gonna last. I'm gonna get this money for a long time. And I told that when I signed that deal, I told our GM was like, because I already made $3 million at 1 year. I made 6+ at 1 year, and I seen those checks, and I told my GM like, why don't you just give me like the $3 million or $6 million salaries for the longevity? Because those checks were fucking fat. But these checks had I went from 3 to 6 to 10 to 12, 16, 17.
Talking million.
And I'm like, are you what? And then again, we flew private. We
didn't go crazy with no bust down Rollie for 100 grand.
I got Rolexes.
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
I got a couple Rolexes. I got some Hublots. I got nice possessions. But one thing that I did is, as soon as I signed my contract, that off season of 2012, me and my financial people went and we created a budget.
Right.
And did I stick to my budget to the T? No. I'm off a couple million.
couple of millions.
But at the same time, like I'm on a great course of what it should look like, opposed to I wasn't pretentious. I wasn't just because I had it, I need to spend it. I have a nice house that we're in right now. Very nice house.
Wonderful.
Very nice house. I'm building one in San Diego.
Sleeping outside.
You can sleep out here right now if you want to. All right, I'm building one in San Diego right now. That's going to be better than this one. But I've structured it to where I can afford it. I'm not spending more than I can afford.
Sustain, right?
I'm not. Even per month. Like right now, we can go buy. My kids, they're like, Daddy, because they play these damn video games. You can say Roblox also. My kids like, Daddy, just go buy a Lamborghini. I got a Tesla, and I had a Lamborghini Aventador. Just my dream car. I had it for 2 years. My body, I'm 6'3". My body does not allow me to get in a fucking car that is sub fucking 3 feet.
5 foot,
okay, okay, it's for a 5 foot.
Gucci be out there riding in this Lambo. He's like 6'4".
Gucci ain't ran into near one wall or dove for a baseball or slid into a base. Had his hip dragged.
Gucci get down. Gucci about to from the soda.
He didn't fault. I get that. He probably his ass twisted other them ways too. No pun intended. I get it. But I'm saying, like, for me, it was my dream car. I had it for 2 years. I loved it.
Wasn't good for comfortability, though.
Do I want it? Once I got in there, it was great. But do I want it again? I don't, but I do.
If I want to creep down. Those cars are so low. My brother had a Audi R8 or whatever. And when getting in, I rode in it like once or twice. And like, it's so low to the ground, you had to dip down to get in. It's like, shit.
So I'm like, I like my Raptor. My Raptor is taking over everything because of its availability, its comfortability. Do I need what? Like, if I pull up in a Raptor, who the fuck's gonna be like, he's broke? I'm in a fucking Raptor. That's every person's dream truck,
right?
Okay. Whoever, like, and I'm wondering, like, why are people driving around in 250s or 350s or 2500s? Just get a fucking Raptor. The Raptor is the best truck for all of it.
Yeah.
Unless you are really pulling shit.
My brother's against the Raptor now, though. My brother, he's like super souped up his he's got a 2500 right now. So now he says 1500 is for pussies. He's got a 2500 now. He's got like the biggest tires on his shit right now. Like he's talking shit.
Well, tell your brother come out here and he can have my Raptor for the weekend.
Well, you know,
okay. My Raptor is available to drive for anybody because it's American. I've had it for 9 years. It's just got 50,000 miles. That thing runs great. Drive it. I let anybody drive it who wants to drive it.
He won't see me no picture of it, but he showed me a picture of it.
It needs to be driven.
He's like everybody. But see, this is down right here. He got the Baja edition right here.
There you go.
So his is beefy. Motherfucker look like a Decepticon.
I know Baja edition. I was hating on the Baja editions. I love the Baja race. Yeah. I got offered to because someone seen my Raptor and I got offered to get into it, and I'm like no, because I'm not comfortable with driving that type of race. I mean, I'll take my truck from here anywhere anywhere in the world, but in the country. But I'm not gonna take it on some shit like that I don't know.
All right. So with recent news, how do you feel about this Will Smith, Chris Rock shit?
Before this, I need to take a fucking shot because
take a shot.
Jeez.
Shot to $85 fucking million. Blowing $1 million a month.
It was more that I actually earned in the contract, but
yeah, and Dennis is a motherfucker too.
It's
beautiful.
Let's not talk about what I got or earned because motherfuckers be wanting your shit.
Inspiration, be inspired.
Honestly, that's all I want to be. I want to be the inspiration for my community, my hood, because I want kids to know that look it, I get it. You didn't have everything. I get it. You didn't have the resources.
You grew up in Meadowbrook. You grew up in Bay Vista. You grew up off of 47, 32nd. All this shit is bad.
Do you understand that Major League Baseball players, NFL players, NBA players have all lived in those same exact quarters?
Look at my dude Powell from that won a chip with the with the Raptors. You know, a lot of people come. Norman Powell, he come from Dago.
Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln. There you go. Rashawn Salam won a high.
Lincoln. Like let's talk about Lincoln.
Reggie
it's like
Bush.
Helix.
Well, yeah, Helix. Spring Valley came from nothing. You know, they came from meager beginnings.
You got the Kennedys.
Everybody. I mean,
Lincoln,
it's so
Morris,
many people.
Me, Sam Horn, Mark McLemore, Morris.
My guy,
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith from Deck. I went to high school with Alex Smith and Reggie in Helix, but I grew up Reggie since Pop Warner days. My cousin Jerome, rest in peace. You know, grew up playing Pop Warner with
Don't tell me
back-to-back running backs.
Don't tell me you can't do it.
You can get it.
It's hard. It's gonna be harder. It's gonna be harder. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be. It's not like it's gonna be a cake.
Hey, everybody, Donnie Edwards.
It's gonna be hard.
My dog Tony Jeffrey. Man, Coroni Tony, where you at? Coroni Tony.
You know what I mean?
You next.
It's gonna be hard, but
From Dago.
You can do it. We can do it.
From the planet.
And you know what? I was watching something that I seen that.
Who am I leaving? I don't want to leave people out. Ricky Williams.
No, Ricky Williams.
Man, Patrick Henry in high school. We got players.
Yancey.
What's my dude's name?
Yancey out of Morris.
Exactly. What's my dude's name? Played for the
Ranks out of Port Patrick Henry.
My guy, he played for the Arian Foster.
Aaron Foster
played for the Mission Bay. Played for the Houston
Mission Bay.
Players.
Aaron came out there.
Game.
But I'm saying it's like, dog, our town got so many people that has made it. But I heard something that he's NBA player turned golfer. Jared Smith.
Oh yeah, Jared.
Love Jared Smith. I always loved his game. I love his attitude ever since. I mean,
behind the motherfucker.
But like I grew up in the East Coast in professional sports, and I'm a year or two older, so I heard his name a shitload, on the East Coast. And what he said is that these athletes, they go and train at all these facilities in the off season, and they go train at these facilities that are white owned.
Right.
Great facilities. These pickup games. You can't knock what they're doing. But what he said was, the other part he said is like, we're talking about guys who made $200, $300 million.
Why do we don't have our own? I seen that clip. Why we don't have our own? Why we not investing in and we making our own? $50
grand from Westbrook, from LeBron, from George, from
everybody. Cam Newton. Who the fuck you want to name?
Who's from LA? But I'm saying all the motherfuckers from LA. You can build your own shit.
Yeah,
Kobe built his own shit. But again, I get it. Ownership of things creates liability. Also, my financial people taught me that earlier. Ownership creates a liability. If you own a building and someone rents it and they fucking break their neck because some cocksucker was out there drunk and doing coke and he fucking split his wig,
good insurance.
You're liable. Again, umbrella insurance.
Yeah.
Best insurance in the world.
But again, hide that LLC, buy some incorporated shit and some more shit. But yeah,
exactly. But it's just the
gist of it. People don't want to do it. But
people don't know about it.
That's always us being like lazy to jump on it. You know what I'm saying? Though, to do things, we get money and it's crabs in the barrel. Like we got out the barrel. We don't want to reach in, fuck around and get pulled back into the barrel and lose out. So we always tend to cut ourselves short instead of really going out and looking out for our people, And it's something. I got a partner. My dude Dorian, DC Athletics, wanted to gang bang so bad, wanted to be the young homie, and I encouraged him to keep playing football, doing his thing. Went to Mount San Jacinto, shutting shit down at safety corner, all this shit. Ended up getting a D1 scholarship to go to Texas Tech. Did his thing there. Now he's got he started off going to MLK and trying to train young kids and high schoolers. And now he's built his brand so heavy that this year he got to host the NFL Combine in Dago, right? So he's getting all this major notoriety, and he be training all kinds of pro athletes that come with him. He's got his own gym. He gets his field and all this shit. And it's like, we need more people to even invest in him or invest in a business like that to where our youth and our pro athletes could train with our own people, and we could put the money back in our own pockets in our own communities. Not, let's get rich, move out of our community, and brag about, I'm living with the white man, living next to the white man, no niggas in my neighborhood. That's some shit I seen Malcolm X preach on 40 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever, before he died.
100%. But I said to that, I don't think that the athlete that is making the money and should live where he grew up.
100%. Get out of there.
But I think you got to get out.
You can't be like
but you
Nipsey
have
Hussle
to
and
get
spend all your
back.
time in the hood. You got to get back.
You have to get back, especially if the community was instrumental in your upbringing. Again, I'm a military kid. My father's military, but I grew up with my mother, so I didn't grow up in home. I got friends that grew up in home, and they don't have a set home. Their home is their brother and sister, or their mother and father. But it's like you have. I think that as an athlete from the inner city, if white, black, Hispanic, I don't give a shit where you're from. I think that if you make it in sports or anything, sports is obviously the forefront of youth athletics, youth interaction. I think sports are always the forefront of youth interaction. I think that parents need to be involved in that because that is the beginning of their socialization. We can talk about race all you want, but racism is not racism is taught.
Right.
Just
it's not the biggest factor when you're young in sports.
It's taught.
You got talent, you're gonna play.
I got friends. My kids right now, 6 and 8, they're playing sports. They know they're black, but they don't. They're playing sports as if they don't give a shit who the fuck is who. They're playing sports. They're playing the game. When they reach a certain level, there's going to be a time where there's going to be addressed. I had to reach that time. I was 16 years old. Some kid, I struck out. Some kid was like, that was a strike, N-word. And I said, what the fuck? And I kicked the motherfucker and started swinging on the motherfucker. I'm 16 years old. I'm from where I'm from.
Right.
My son is not going to have that animosity or anger or understanding towards like how that word feels towards him.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's gonna be like, if someone tells him that, he's gonna be like,
But your parents is broker than mine, you nigger.
He's gonna say that to them.
That's to them.
You know what I'm saying?
You one of them.
You one of them. You the nigga. You the nigga in this shit. Exactly.
I can hire your parents to come work for me.
Hey, I'm gonna hire your punk ass.
Your mama could come work at my house now.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like it takes a long time. Oh,
no, that's thick glass right there.
That's that Grey Goose. But it takes a long time. And it takes strong-minded individuals to understand that because that's a lot to process. But my kids have been born into. But my kids are born into my success.
Into privilege.
Yeah,
but it's also being taught how to handle situations. Yeah. People don't have parents to teach them how to handle situations, and that's even sports is like I talk to my daughter. My daughter wants to be. She's singing. She does music. She wants to do acting, and she does sports. And I got her heavy in tennis right now, right? And I told her, listen, I maneuver her away from basketball to tennis because at this point, basketball for women doesn't pay well.
No.
So they can go overseas. It's getting better. It's getting better. But it's like you can possibly make $1 million or $2 million playing basketball, and maybe if you become a big star, you could really get the money, right? But you need to be a big old tall Erica Cambridge or somebody.
But the best girl in America is getting paid $500,000.
Yeah. So it's not enough. But I said,
Erica Cambridge,
you become.
Hey, she bad.
She bad, ain't she, motherfucker?
Big Australian motherfucker. She bad.
I be checking her on Instagram. I be down there trying to slide the
jump
DM.
on her.
Erica, I'm looking for you.
Nah, jump on her. Hey, we looking for you.
But look,
Erica, he looking for you. I'm not gonna say we. He looking for you.
He looking. But look. But as far as my daughter, I try to tell her, like, listen, everybody don't have a dad to invest in them, invest in their future, invest in their sports, to actually sit out here and take their time. I'm out here playing with you. You telling me it's hot or it's cold or whatever, it's you're tired, you whatever. I'm thirsty with you. I'm hot with you. I'm cold with you. I'm out here running around with you, breaking the sweat. Don't complain to me about whatever, because first thing you need is discipline and dedication. And if you have discipline, you can do anything. I tell her your attitude. I'm in the attitude breaking right now, because your attitude is what's gonna take you how far you're gonna get or how short you're gonna get in anything you do, not just sports, in life. Your attitude is gonna dictate it. So I'm trying to break your attitude now and show you a better way to approach things and how to handle situations. I'm like, you can't think that you're going to go to high school and then, okay, I'm going to play tennis and I'm going to get all this money. You have to develop now at a young age. And you got a dad that understands a lot of things and that's trying to show you ownership. That's trying to show you business. That's telling you and talking to you about everything in life and sports and trying to and promote you. Like, that can write songs for you, that can record you, that can do all these things so that you can have direction. When you get 18, you finish high school, you got direction. You know what direction you want to go in versus being one of these young ladies or young men that don't know where they want to go and follow the dumbass, that friend that they got, into doing the wrong things. And now you got a record, you're in jail, prison, selling ass. You know what I'm saying?
All kinds of
things
shit
that go on. You know where I come from.
For sure.
So it's like, I've seen it all. I've been there. I am that person.
I still get calls from my friends from prison, bro.
Right, exactly. And it's like, they still need things, and you look out for them, you love them, you want to show them. You don't want them in there committing suicide. You don't want them in there feeling like nobody cares for them. Listen, they gave their life for the cause, and I supported. I lived through the same cause that you got, so I always got you. But I'm trying to keep my daughter and my future children out of that situation. So everybody don't have a dad, though, that can sit here and be in here on the tennis court playing tennis with you, playing basketball with you, teaching you the game, teaching you skill, making sure that you skilled at things in life. And that's what a lot of our youth are missing. So it's like, in dedication, determination, discipline. If you ain't got discipline, you ain't got nothing in this world. Everything starts with discipline. Baseball, basketball, football, whatever sport, you don't have discipline, you're not going to get nowhere. If you have a problem with authority and you can't, the things that make you the money, I tell her, listen, you don't want to be my age and your mom's age and everything and still working. Look at your grandparents. Your grandmother, on both sides, they're both over 50 and still working. Don't have freedom. Don't have financial freedom.
They ain't learning shit.
Right. So you don't want to be these people.
Yeah, for sure. These are things you talk about. That I mean, they're all great points. And take
a shot to financial freedom.
For sure, because, you need to have a trade. You need to have like I said, our parents figured out how to get it done. We're in a generation now that they don't figure out how to get it done. They look at other manipulative ways to get things done. And I look at it as like, you got to learn a trade. You have to learn a career. And I get it. We're also the era where your college degree means shit.
100%.
I think that is something that has not been
talked about enough.
It's not been addressed.
$50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in debt.
Ain't been addressed.
I got a baby brother. Got a presidential award from Obama when he graduated high school, right? I mean, that's iconic because he's the only black president. Or you got an academic award from him. Went to college, undergrad.
Sitting in debt.
Finished it. Got it. Now he has debt. He's going into his doctorate programs. He's trying to get his doctorate. Maybe he might just get his nurse practitioner degree or whatever, right? But he has all this debt. But the past 3 years, he's been working at a marijuana dispensary. And it's like, you got college debt, and you making good money working at a marijuana dispensary in L.A. Shout out Jungle Brothers.
I'm just saying, it's
he could have did that with a high school diploma if he was in there 3 years.
100%.
But he's gonna go back to school and finish out and get some kind of nurse practitioner or nursing degree or whatever the fuck.
But his projection is to get out of debt at 45 to 40.
Yeah, fuck
45 to 50 years old. That is the diagnosis of that field of lawyers and all the other things. They don't turn green until 40 to 50.
Right.
They don't turn because everybody's put everything on the plan. Athletes are starting green.
18, 20 to 22.
Starting green. Not everybody. I'd say the ones that are featured, the focal points.
What age in baseball do you really start to make the money? Because in football, it's like, you sign your rookie contract at like 21, 22. You come out of college 20 to 22, right? Depending, you do 3 to 4 years of college. Most people try to get out in their third year if they really have a breakout season. Right. And then their first contract is like 4 years. The team could do the 5th year option, but most of the time, if you're really a breakout star, they want to renew the contract before it's up. So by their third or fourth year, by the end of the third year, like starting the 4th year, the 5th year,
they know
they're already getting a renewal. So they're like,
same in baseball.
by the time they're 24, they didn't had a 24 to 25. They already got a big option. But for you, like, you coming out of high school at 18, you did 6-7 years before you hit the $85 million.
Well, what I did is, if you in baseball, first off, basketball and football go straight to the league from college.
Right.
They used to have high school.
They used to have high school,
NBA,
right? You got to do at least 1 year or 1 year out.
Yeah, you go straight. You go to NBA. They're making the NBA is 2 rounds, NFL 7 rounds. If you are in the top 3 rounds in the NFL draft, you're on the team. If you're not, you're fucking scrounging for scraps. NBA, if first round, you're on the team. Second round, you're scrounging for scraps. MLB, when I was coming up, is 50 fucking rounds.
Shit.
50. 30 teams. You can do the
Damn,
math.
50 rounds.
Picks.
And you got picked in the first round. They wasn't fucking with you.
First round. So who was picked? Who gets the money? Who gets this? But then again, you got a 4-year college guy. He's graduated college. He has no leverage, but he loves baseball. You give him 10,000 and say best of luck. You give him a fucking 1,000 and say best of luck because he's gonna take it. Now as a junior, he has leverage. College baseball players have leverage. College baseball and football players have leverage in their junior year because the junior year is the most important year in college football, in college baseball. I don't know why, but it's the eligibility year. You've seen Jamar Chase sit out in 2020, 21. He sit out 2020? Yeah, he sat out 2020, the COVID year. He ended up still being a fucking first round pick because he was that outstanding. But it's just those college kids in the college route is just a lot different than a baseball route because basketball you have to go to college, football you have to go to college, baseball you can be drafted and go to the minor leagues, and college has a structure that the minor leagues cannot reciprocate.
But you know you're special. You at
100%,
50 rounds, you went first.
Yeah, but it's always about adaptability. I come from the hood. I sold candy. I used to take the Greyhound from my stepdad to Aliso Viejo, Mission Viejo. I was able to be independent early, but that's from being from the hood. I learned to.
You was ready. You were in a better position than
mom. Mom gave you $5 to go to the store to grab 4 or 5 things. What you need to do, like you remember that even if you had a list or not, you remember that shit. To this day, we remember those things. No matter the money that we make, we remember those things. People think that just because I have money that I forget
what it was like when
who I am, what I am, how I had it. They forget that. Oh, you have money now. You know, like, what are you complaining about? Well, I'm complaining because I understood. I remember my parents being disappointed by how shit happened. So that's why I'm disappointed. Just because I can pay you over, or you overcharge me $20, I can pay it. Who gives a fuck? Doesn't mean that I should just take it up the ass just because you charged me that.
Right.
Because I can afford it doesn't mean that I should pay it. And a lot of businesses do that. They overcharge people that have higher incomes because they feel that they're not going to look at it.
And you know what?
They don't care.
Athletes have a bad rap for being a dumb athlete. Like, oh man, they're not going to pay attention. They're not going to know. And the motherfuckers ain't dumb. Motherfuckers really graduating college and paying attention. No, everybody didn't have somebody that did their work for them.
There's some
dumb athletes.
And with the some, there's a lot.
There's some good liquor, ain't it?
Yeah, it's actually really good. Ooh, shit.
I'll try to tell you.
Hey, there's some good ones. But I'm saying at the end of the day, like, dude, have you ever been 25 and rich with the projections?
No, not me. I was 25. I was in jail.
But I'm saying, like, have you been, like, people don't understand. Have you been 25 with with money, with the projections of having that same amount of money 40, 30 years later, 20 years later. Because again, I grew up around drug dealers and all that shit.
I think I had a projection of being dead.
Like, I'm just saying,
20 years later.
like, people don't think that. That's why athletes change their course of mindset. And it's not just like, oh, like I get. We grew up where we grew up, and I grew up. I fuck with my people that I fuck with. I know who was there when it else. And like I get calls. I still get text messages when I'm in San Diego. That okay, hey, I know you're in town. Hey, we eyes on you. Okay, we got you. And this is from my brother's people, older people. Like I don't even when I see the text, I don't even text who it is. I just text back 100%. Like I understand that because I've reached a plateau where the Bloods, Crips. I'm from San Diego.
Right.
We grew up around Bloods.
Number gangbanging. Yeah.
Bloods, Crips.
Blood City, but it's rip scary and they real too.
Like I grew up around Southeast. Then I went to Little Africa. Then I went to Old Pharaoh. Then I went to Skyline. Like it's just like moving. Our parents moving. Like my parents moving. Like these just are moving.
Right.
And I can't control that.
Especially in the younger days, it's like when Skyline opened up, it was all our parents having government jobs and whatever. So everyone kind of moved over as a new community, and they let the minorities in over there.
Because people don't think the Skyline was white.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, and then they let minorities live
exactly.
over there.
We know what happened. We know what happened.
They left and moved up to Del Mar.
Exactly. They created Scripture. They created Poway, Mira Mesa, and I just try. I still go back to the hood because I know where I'm from, man. But I know I'm protected because
and you're still welcome. The community loves you.
I'm saying, but I know I'm protected because the OGs. It's just like
they're gonna embrace you.
It's how it is.
Because you keep it. The difference is you keep it real versus some niggas. They get their money and you don't ever see them or hear from them ever again. And it's like they don't look out. They look out for their dead homies that died and passed on, and this and that people they grew up with. But it's like if you keep it real with the hood gonna love you and they gonna always keep it real with you. Hey, listen, you ain't gotta spend no money with the hood, but if you come to the hood and you sign autographs for the little kids and take some pictures, the community just gonna appreciate it so much. You give away some backpacks or some ham, some turkeys on Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're gonna die for you. But that's how bad it is. Motherfucker gonna damn near risk their life for you if all you did was give away some turkeys, some ham, some backpacks, and some back to school drives and take some pictures with kids. And it's like, that's powerful. But that's how bad it is. People don't really understand how bad it is. It's like, if they could save their little food stamp money this month because you gave away some free turkeys for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Now, do you understand how much that $200 extra, $150 extra, $300? We're in a different era. Everything is collection.
Right.
And example with sports in the industry, doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's a collection of data.
Exactly.
And who has the data? Google has data. Tesla has data.
Everything.
Yahoo has data. It's a few big ass companies that are hoarding this data.
These little microphones that we got right here.
They're paying attention to keywords. Hey, we're talking
keywords, algorithms.
We're talking here. We're talking shit. We're talking life. We're talking liberty. We're talking sports, life, our experiences. This is not harmful. But the second you start talking other shit that is harmful,
they want to hear about.
That could, I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna fucking look for it. But the blessing is to be able to not have to talk about
Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Ooh.
He slapped Chris Rock in the face.
The shit out of him. It looked fake.
What was your?
It looked fake. It looked fake at first.
You thought it was fake?
I looked at first glance. I was getting texts. I was getting alerts. It looked fake.
I don't know if it ever looked fake.
It looked fake. But
I thought it was real as fuck.
The second,
I think he's picking and choosing his battles.
But I didn't see it live.
He's picking and choosing his battles.
Yeah, I didn't see it live. Once I got to see the footage and Will Smith cursed him out a couple times. And obviously, and now it's crazy because right now I'm in the middle of his book, Will. It's remarkable that happened because a lot of his, especially the first part of his book, Will Smith has always had this. According to his book, he always has had this
self-control. Huh?
No, this feeling of cowardism. Like he didn't stand up because in his book he watched his mom get beat by his dad and he tried to step in. He's 10 years old. It doesn't matter who you are. You fucking He-Man at 10 years old is not gonna deter what's gonna happen.
Right.
What's going on. And I think in his book he just always referred to himself as a coward because of, I guess, of that part of not defending his mother, and then I guess of as being, we all know Will Smith as a rapper of not being, he's not a gangster rapper,
right?
To be honest with you. But he came out the era.
But he's from Philly.
He's Philly, but he's not a gangster rapper. But he came out the era of Trick Daddy. He came out the era of Master P. He came out the era of Biggie, Tupac. The New Yorkers, all the I'm trying to think of the names right now. Big Daddy Kane, because Will Smith came out in the late '80s. Will Smith's not an early '90s rapper; he's a late '80s rapper.
But do you think that joke? Listen, Chris Rock not aware of his wife's alopecia.
He's well aware of it.
You think Chris Rock was well aware of it?
Well aware of it. History shows that he's well aware of it.
Yeah. You think it was a bad joke?
The history shows of their interactions that he understood. He's well aware of it. The history shows.
Do you think it was a bad joke? You think it was a merit of slap? I mean, because comedy, they're both comedians.
Comedy's comedy.
And
comedy's comedy.
Hey, listen, anytime a comedian's on stage, you're gonna take shots at the crowd. You guys are peers.
Comedy's comedy.
You peers.
But peers, wife's always off limits. Family's off limits.
Family's off limits.
Family's always been off limits. Unless it's a comical familical joke.
But he's like, Jada, I love you. Can't wait to see you in the next G.I. Jane.
Yeah. But
she laughed at first, he laughed at first. And she kind of was like, damn, my hair. And when he seen that she didn't laugh, then he wants to get offended. But
read
she
his
laughed.
book. Read his book.
I'm checking.
Read his book. You read his book, you understand the action. It's like because
my problem with it is
Will Smith has always been. Will Smith is probably, arguably, the most black character that white people feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
Think of another one. Will Smith is a very comfortable one. Think of another one.
Denzel.
Very comfortable. Because Denzel, his roles are always a great movie.
But
that are worldwide, all that.
But his darkest role might have been, other than Frank Lucas, was motherfucking he played the dirty cop. My nigga.
Training Day. Only time
you told me to suck your dick, bitch. Is that what you said?
But only time he ever won the Oscar was in that.
He should have
won the Oscar.
Will Smith did Mo Better Blues.
He should have. Denzel Washington should have 20 Oscars.
He should have 20, 30 fucking Oscars.
Are you kidding me? Every movie's made.
Man on Fire.
What?
Deja Vu.
Man on Fire 2. But I'm saying it's like it's a prestige in that Hollywood. And again, with the Oscars, we know that the black folks ain't gonna win that shit. It's been historically claimed,
and that's why they finally gave Samuel
Angela
Jackson
Bassett wins an Oscar. Finally, Angela Bassett done played fucking Tina Turner. Angela Bassett done played every black woman that's ever been hurt in history.
Man,
in a film,
hey, one of my favorite movies.
And she just fucking wins one because she played Tina Turner.
Waiting to Exhale. One of my favorite movies. Get your shit.
She didn't win it.
Get your shit.
Wins it, but she wins it because white people feel comfortable with Tina Turner.
Mm-hmm. She said, "I want to keep my name."
Training Day
I want to keep my name.
Training Day Denzel just like he had to win that. But white folks felt comfortable with Denzel way before that, and especially
I need that
after
money,
that.
Jake. Hey, listen, I can't.
Especially after it.
I can't play Call of Duty.
Ethan Hawke had to have been
I use a
part of him
shotgun.
winning it.
Hey, look,
because
I use a shotgun on Call of Duty, right? I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake.
yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, mate.
Denzel's the most iconic actor of all time.
No, best actor.
He should have at least 10 Oscars in his fucking belt. He
But
played
the
old,
Oscars,
old
Emmys,
military movies,
Oscars,
everything.
whatever the fuck it's called.
Malcolm X.
They're not for us.
Malcolm X.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
All time.
Of all time.
8 to 10 years.
Greatest movie of all time.
6 to 10 years.
But
8 to 10 years.
but
Spike
people
Lee.
was like my mother-in-law, she lives around the corner. She's literally seen everything. Like literally. So when these awards are out, she know what she's like. That was a fucking good movie. That wasn't a good movie. It was a good movie. She offers us the advice because she's seen everything. She's retired. She doesn't do shit but watch movies all day, and she gives us the reviews of what to watch, what not to watch. The majority of the movies that she say not to watch are winning these fucking awards.
But listen, if you Denzel, is you slapping Will for that comment, for that joke? At the Oscars, are you slapping him?
Hey, man.
Are you slapping him? Or are you approaching him backstage like, hey man, brother to brother, listen man, you know about my wife's condition. It's not boo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna need you to refrain from that. I'm not gonna do you like that on camera and this and that. We black people, because I think I
would do it that way.
I always think like Jay-Z.
If it was a white person on stage, I'd smack the shit out of him.
Right.
But I think if
my own brother,
I think because we always want. I mean, you got Will Smith and Chris Rock. We're talking juggernauts, people that can move mountains.
Right.
Like that impact that we're talking about. That shit. It's not.
These are the biggest of the big.
These are the biggest of the big.
A-list actors. A-list actors. And listen. My problem is this. Malcolm X said it before, especially when he was going through what he was going through. He was like, the Nation of Islam and black people in general, we never hurt white people. Something's going on within the nation, we'll hurt our own people. He said, but when things go on outside of the nation,
never been hurt.
We're never going to hurt the white man. Never. It's like, white people, I feel like everybody else has been saying it. If a white man would have made that joke on Jada, they got away with it. But a black man making a joke, we so quick to go run up on stage and run up on our own. And it's like, as men in general, like Jay-Z, you'll never see him sweat.
No.
He's a gangster. He's from Marcy Projects, one of the worst projects in America.
They need to.
And he will listen. Jay-Z, you don't fuck with him. You ain't going to touch him.
Passive.
He'll be real passive, but he's going to catch you on the under and be like, hey, man, don't do no shit like that again. But or he's going to put his people on, or he'll get on you.
But he reached a level where you just don't, you can't cross him.
Right, you're like,
but he reached a level.
Don't cross me.
You can't cross him.
Even Will Smith. You can't cross him. But
you can't cross him.
Will Smith and Chris Rock was on a similar level.
I can't cross Will Smith. Chris Rock can fucking cross Will Smith.
Right.
I looked at it when I heard it and I seen the whole thing. I'm like, I thought it was fake.
It's a better way to handle your business, though. Without putting everybody in the media. That's where we from. We call it Hollywood. You pulled a Hollywood stunt.
Thing is, it's all storylines amid the white folks' behavior.
And but you know what?
But the white folks' behavior is what's all amidst.
But
if you look into Hollywood right now, look into the cases that's going on in the white Hollywood. Right now, we're talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, and Chris Rock, and that's blown over in the world. But the cases that are going on in Hollywood, the sexual pedophilia, it's fucking astronomical. Woo! Woo! But we missed that because we're caught up in Jada and Will, and we didn't even give Samuel Jackson. But you talk about my fucking wife. I'm gonna have to do something. But I read Will Smith's book. He had to act according to his book. This was his acting out. This was his and I see what your Lakers had on. I'm watching the Kareem documentary as I'm watching the Laker documentary, which is amazing. When people take so many jabs at you, just come a point where you got to punch back. When Kareem came into the NBA, he had to take the shots of Bill Russell. He had to take the shots of all the sinners. But once he became formidable, he gave the fucking shots.
Right.
But you have to earn that. and I think in sports and life and nowadays,
earned his right to take the shots at them though.
But I think in today's thing, it's like, you know, the 26-year-old comedian thinks he is Chris Rock or Will Smith. But what you say was family and.
But yeah, the young homies don't respect the big homies like they used to.
Fuck no.
Not at all.
Are you kidding me?
But you talking about
man.
But
the young homies don't respect.
You talking about old school big homie on old school big homie. Chris Rock making that little joke. He's like, even he said he's like, yo, I'm talking about a G.I. Jane joke, bro. Like, are you serious right now?
Right.
And he's like, keep my wife, damn out your fucking mouth. It's like, listen, it's a lot of other comedians said a lot worse. And you gonna take your shots on camera at Chris Rock when you could have taken these shots at other people. You ain't been on Instagram and Twitter taking these shots on people.
But
much worse.
But his book just came out.
Rush that nigga August.
Bro.
That's who came in your house as a friend, as a family friend, who's suffering from mental depression, needed your help, needed some guidance, needed your friendship, needed your family love, and then he snuck into your wife's room and he's creeping behind your back with your wife, and your wife allowed and accepted it and talked about it. And every person in the world made jokes.
But the thing is, he's acceptable by the part. He's
accepting
you know, in your
so listen. So don't
in your fucking bedroom.
Right. So don't get on stage and cry and be like, oh, we got to take all this disrespect on this shit. But your own brother made a quick little joke about you, and you ready to go at him. I just think
it's full.
They didn't even make the joke about August.
It's full Monty. It's full Monty coming circle.
You know, you see what Jim Carrey said?
Again, you just said.
You see what Jim Carrey said?
I seen what
he said. I have a $200 million lawsuit against him right now.
Against Will Smith?
Against Will Smith. He said, if I'm Chris Rock, he said, Monday I'd have been announcing $200 million lawsuit against him because that video ain't never going nowhere. I would tax his pocket for $200 million. That's what Jim Carrey said. And it's like, I respect it. Listen, from the streets, I'm not pressing charges on. I'm like Chris Rock. I'm Jim Carrey. But the difference is, it doesn't happen to a Jim Carrey. And he's just as big as Chris Rock, if not bigger. He's
not bigger. Jim Carrey's fucking big.
And Jim Carrey came from In Living Color, on the slums with niggas.
You know,
James
Carrey.
He wasn't right. He wasn't nowhere near as big as all the other artists that was.
The Wayans brothers made that nigga.
Right, the Wayans brothers made. He was nowhere near as big as them. He was nowhere near as popular as them. Yep. He came on there and said, "Listen, I'm fighting Marshall Bill. Listen, kid.
Hey, that's just still. Hey, Jim Carrey's fucking bounty with that shit too.
I drop my shit.
If you do this, fucking mom with that shit.
You're gonna burn the fuck up.
But it's opportunity. He took advantage of opportunity, but he had the opportunity. And the Wayans brothers, but again, the Wayans brothers create the opportunity for him.
Yeah. And many others. So for him to speak on a black actor,
Jennifer Lopez, and many.
For him to speak on a black actor, I can respect it because he started with black actors. He's not Bruce Willis or somebody else that's coming out of nowhere and speaking on a black actor and what he would do. He's been working with us since the beginning of the time. He's probably the most non-racist actor that there is.
True. Exactly. I think that he offers perspective.
Shout out to motherfucking Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, my dude. Hey, Fire Marshal Bill. Let me tell you something. But it's about like you have to like
that one hit.
It's about adaptation. You have to adapt. No matter how you want to look at it,
you got to be a chameleon in this industry.
You have to adapt because markets are adaptability. If you're in the Southwest, this market that we're in now, it's easier adaptability if you're black or Hispanic. If you're in the Northeast, it's easier if you're white. If you're in the North Central, it's like the Midwest, easier if you're white or black. It's such. You have to find your niche, and you can't fucking complain about what you don't have. You don't have this. I don't have this. I was talking to fucking Manny Machado today. One of my best friends.
Machado!
Like, I grew up with Machado. Okay? And he was telling me about his house in San Diego. And I know how much money he got. I know how much money he's making. I know how much money he's going to make. How much he got. And he was like, man, my house is done. And me being, I'm financially secure in my own regards.
Thank God. Praise God.
You know what I mean?
Financial security.
He is fucking
over financially secure.
What? Are you shitting me?
Well, you're over financially secure, but he's like over.
I'm a couple generations. He is his type of money. His type of money should never go fucking broke.
He's like 300, 400 million.
300. Woo! And I'm over 100. And I'm happier than pig and shit. Are you kidding me? But I'm saying it's like no matter what level you reach, there's always some sort of envious of. I know where he lives in San Diego. I know what he's done towards San Diego, and it's like no matter how you look at it, it's like envious of like, damn, I would love to live there. But again, it's a depreciation of. He earned that. He deserves
every single fucking dollar.
And, you know, you play your career and you play the best of your career. If you played in the 80s and 90s, if you played in the 80s, you made the 80s money. You played in the 90s, you made 90s money. You played if you played in the 2000s, you started to make a dickload more money.
Yeah, imagine what Jordan would have made in basketball if he would have played in the 2000s.
Well, Jordan's 36 and 38 million of 96 and 97, 98 was astronomical for that time.
Exactly.
In all the sports, it was astronomical at that time. In today's game, if Jordan was at that peak of his, that would be 75 million.
100%.
Yeah. $80 million a year.
They was mad at Kobe for getting $20 million his last couple years. $20 million or $25 million a year.
They felt that the salary cap and every fucking body's a salary cap analogist.
But you know, the Lakers at that time couldn't even pull in
Kobe
nobody.
Deserved that money because
but what he did. But he's also selling the fucking tickets. When they be like, oh, they shouldn't give Kobe that. Listen, you don't put Kobe in there. The tickets are dummy cheap. You put Kobe in there. The tickets are 70% marked up. If the Lakers don't have a star, the tickets are 70% cheaper. Nigga,
there. The tickets are
so you add 70% of that, and you say, okay, I'm gonna give Kobe $20 million so we can make 150, 200 million, 300 million off him right now, off these ticket sales, jersey sales, and every other fucking sale the Lakers get. This $20 million ain't shit they gave him. The Lakers never cared about a luxury tax.
Business.
When the Lakers had Kobe and Shaq, they never cared about a luxury tax.
It's not about luxury tax. It's about what you can afford, and like they can afford it.
Right.
So people are like, oh, this guy's making $24 million. The team could have fucking afford it. Don't be mad at the player.
Right.
The team can afford to pay somebody this money.
Basketball teams be worth more than baseball teams and football teams, right?
Yep.
And nobody's ever saying the owner's making too much money. They always say the player's making too much money.
Yep. Of course.
Why is it the player makes all the money for the team?
That owner's making $300-400 million a year.
Right. So the player makes all the money for the team, and you never say that the player's making too much money. It's always because they're black.
No,
and we can piggyback off
it's not that because you know what it is because
people don't appreciate the employee.
Ownership owns the media. They own the narrative. They make the fans hate the player. They don't make the ownership doesn't make the fan hate the ownership. They make them hate the player.
They never come at the owners about how much money they make, but they always come at the players about how much money they make because the owners own the media.
Yep.
So they set the narrative that the players are making too much money to try to fix it.
Always have. And again, the players are short term. No matter how long term you think you are, you're short term. But the owners are in it for the long term, because the owners at the end of the day are just a business move,
right? And
the players, our career trajectory is
15 years, 10 to 15.
It's just 0 to 20.
Well, I guess it depends by sport,
but all sports it's 0 to 20. I look at it as
in
0
football,
to 20.
I think the average football career is like maybe for a running back, it's like
3.5 years,
5 to 7 years for a running back, and everybody and like other people, they might make it 10.
It's 3.5 years.
10 years is like usually the maximum trajectory of a football player.
It's not. It's 3.5 years for all the sports across the board.
Yeah. Probably.
3.5 years across all the sports. And I look at it, it's like, look at. Try and do what you can do while you're in the sport. On the field, make as much money as you can. If you have the opportunities to make off the field money, do that. If you have a chance to be in an organization, you're not a dick, do that. I always suggest to these young kids, like, don't be a dick to these organizations because you never know when you need them. I'm on a board right now of an organization called BAT, Baseball Assistance Team. We take care of former baseball players, umpires, managers, PR, everybody that's in the baseball family. We take care of that has just fallen tough times because life happens.
Right.
No other organization in sports
Shouldn't be no
has it.
Delonte West and shit going out here.
We would have been here. We would have been there for Delonte West 2 years before the NBA was there, but I'm extremely happy that
they did
Cuban.
something.
I'm not sure that they. I'm happy that Cuban did something.
Right.
Cuban was the guy that did something. There's a they. Fuck they. They gives credit to all the bullshit people that sit there twiddling their fucking thumbs. They gives credit to everybody
Right.
that didn't do shit.
Mark Cuban did it all on his own.
Mark Cuban did this himself. He deserves sole credit for this endeavor because, maybe a Stan Gilbert, maybe because of the Cleveland connection, maybe, but athletes need to understand that we are in a unique position when we're given a certain amount of money in terms of a contract. We need to prolong that. But we also need to create a fund within our personal finances that is a money that is just fruitful. It's money that you can give away every year because the market creates a fucking Band-Aid that if you make it a certain amount of money, you can have a certain amount of money for free.
Right.
I didn't create the shit. The market created it.
Right. It says you got this amount of money every month. Every year you make it a residual off of having this money in our bank.
I'm going to give you this amount of money for free every year. Piss it away. Next year, I'm going to give you the same amount. Piss it away. Next year, I might give you more, but I might give you a little bit less. I might, but the trajectory, I'm going to give you more. But you just said the career of the athlete is like tomorrow, his shit could be gone.
So if you had some advice to give to the young crowd, the young athletes coming up right now, what would your advice be to them?
It's not about today.
Tomorrow, the future.
No, it's not today. It's not about today. It's not about today. Don't worry about today. Today you're fine. Today you're eating Whole Foods. You're eating Sprouts. you're eating the top foods.
You're eating good.
Today. The thing is that when you get towards the end of the career, and I'm at 36, 37, I'm at the end of the end of my career, and it's like you want to live as long as your grandparents or great-grandparents. You want to live to 100. You want to live 80, 90, 100, whatever age it is. But you have to, but the thing is, you want to live that same type of life, correct?
The whole time.
The whole time. But not everybody's going to make 100 million. 200 million, 300 million. But that doesn't mean that you can't live the fucking same great life. I got friends that have made 20 million in their whole entire career, 13-year career, $20 million. But they're fucking living on interest comfortably. They have a nice ass house. They're just living on.
They're stuck to the budget that they created for themselves.
Exactly.
And they're still able to live.
They're like, okay, the new Louis Vuitton backpacker bag came out.
Not important.
Who gives a fuck?
Right. That old Louis bag that you had is still just as good as that new one.
What's important is that my two kids at fucking soccer tournaments in Las Vegas, and I have to drive there. I got to put gas in the vehicle to drive. It's all about perspective. I can have all those perspectives, but I want to have the perspective of the normal American. I get it. I'm in a nice house right now. We're right where we're at right now. It's a very nice establishment. I get it, but I want to be where I'm living below my expected living status,
expenses, right?
Based on how much I made, because I know people, and I work in bed. I know people that made 20, 30, 40, up to $70 million and are broke, and I'll beat the shit out of them. I want to beat the shit out of them.
How you spend that kind of money and go broke,
I understand
right?
it. No. It's fucking easy. It's so easy. It's so easy.
To overspend?
It's so easy to overspend because you keep getting. You get a compliment. Keep getting. You keep getting. Like, one thing I learned about jewelry, oh, I get it. You can have a lot of it. Trade it. Work with a jeweler that trades your shit in. My jeweler trades your shit in. I work with Gabe out of New York. Obviously, everybody calls him Gabe. He made the chain in my Nicki Minaj video. But I know him personally. He makes, like, I'm able to keep my equity in him. If I give him 100,000, I'm able to keep that 100,000 fluctuating within that 100,000. Right. I don't need to pull out.
It keeps spinning. Right?
I don't need to pull out the 100,000. I can buy something in the 100,000, pull out of it, and buy a $60,000 watch, $100,000. But I can trade that watch in. You keep within the 100,000. He's one of the best with that. A lot of different people are different with it because they want the physical. They want the cash.
Want you to keep on spending the same amount of cash. Like, this watch.
I know what you're making.
I paid $100,000 for it. I'm gonna give you back $50 for it, and they want to keep they know it's worth another $50. So
exactly,
and then charge you another $50 on top of that.
You have to 100% pay attention to these motherfuckers' intentions because they look at athletes as just dumb shits. Because you're 26. Imagine yourself 26 years old getting $300,000 every 2 weeks. Legally.
At 26? I've been on some shit.
That was me.
Motherfucker couldn't tell me nothing. I've been in the skyline with a Lamborghini for sure. I'd have been right there on the block with a Lambo in skyline. I would have probably had my own house in that motherfucker. I probably have built a gate and all kinds of shit. Motherfucker couldn't even get to me like that, but that'd be my crib.
In the hood, though. But
in the hood. Motherfucker been mad at me.
But do you see
that'd been my whole point. You motherfuckers been mad at me.
But
only certain good homies with good names could come fuck with me, but it would create an ugly image.
Do you see the mentality of that?
Yeah, it would have been an ugly image. Exactly. They'd be mad at me.
Like, why the fuck you got a Lamborghini in Southeast San Diego? Lamborghinis.
The police have been mad at me.
Sit on Skyline Drive?
They've been trying to find a reason to come over here. They've been looking for homies on parole probation that they can come over here and try to get away to search my crib.
So what do you do? So in the instance you get all that money, what you do is you go buy yourself an Escalade. You go buy yourself an Expedition, a Tahoe, and you go buy yourself a nice house and simplify it and fucking live normally. What do you need? What do you need to live like an athlete? Like, what is it to live like an athlete? I think that's another psychological episode that needs to happen within the psychology of the actual.
Is it to live like an athlete, or is everybody just trying to keep up with the Joneses? Like,
I get that, but I don't think that. I don't think it's to keep up with the Joneses. I think it's the athlete's perspective that needs to be spoken for more, not opposed to like, hey, look it, you're 18-year-old or you're 20-year-old, I'm gonna give you $800,000. But then I'm just gonna fucking stick you into the real world. I didn't teach you went to college. You got 3 years of 2.5 years of being able to be taught something.
But nothing is really about financial literacy.
Of the college, man. High school, you definitely teach you a fucking thing. But I'm giving you $2 million. I got $1 million at 18 years old. How do you think I felt? The first thing I bought a Navigator. I bought a Navigator show
Lincoln
car.
Navigator, huh?
A Navigator show car. It had 10 TVs.
They was fly back in the day. In the early 2000s.
It had 10 TVs.
Shit.
And everything.
Behind every seat and all that shit.
It was a fucking limit.
Big ass drop down TV behind every seat. Yeah. Big in-dash TV, all that shit.
Hey, The
Big stereo system.
The what's it? Over when you're driving, the rearview mirror, down screen, whatever the fuck it's called.
The rearview mirror had a TV in the rearview mirror. Yeah, some shit you don't need because everybody behind your seat is a motherfucking TV. Think about the flagship of the motherfucking
When
Navigator.
I'm 17, I grew up with nothing.
Right.
I turned 18. I bought
I'm gonna
it.
pack all the Humvees in the car. We're gonna watch
But then I bought
music videos and watch Minister Society.
I did that shit so fucking long. And then I bought an Escalade truck. I had that bitch for 7 years. I learned financial literacy.
At least you were smart enough to do that. You told me you had a 2013 F-150 Raptor. It's 2022. It's 9 years old already.
Go drive that motherfucker. Take it.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what's beautiful about the situation. It's like
that bitch wanna
everything
go
don't have to be brand new. You say you only got 50,000 miles on it. I mean, it ain't even been driven that much. It's still worth a good penny. And cars
It still worth exactly what it's worth.
Right. And cars is up. Trucks is up. Trucks maintain value, period. Jeeps maintain value, period.
That's the best truck in the world.
The mileage is so low, you can still get a pretty penny for it. That's knowledge right there. That's knowledge.
Like it's like again, money buys power. Money buys this, that.
We got to take a shot for the road and financial literacy, man.
Knowledge buys power, man. If you can maneuver, it buys it. And I had that Lamborghini Aventador last 2 years. I had to sell it. My body didn't adhere.
Permit it, right?
I had it for 2 years. It was my dream car. I drove for 2 years.
It was fun while I
fucking loved it. And I wish I still had it. I might go and buy another one.
Raise it up. Raise the Lamborghini Aventador.
I might go buy another
26s on the Lamborghini Aventador. Raise that bitch up like a dog. Drive that bitch like a dog.
I might go buy another one, but it's just like if you reach a certain pinnacle, you should experience all your dreams.
Park that bitch right here by pool and shoot some crazy videos on it. Nah,
I've done that.
It would be fun. It would be dope.
It's been there. It's been this motherfucker.
Man, but I can imagine. I can't imagine. It's coming.
It's been this motherfucker. But this one just again, it's about us. It's about spreading that black love, that cultural love. And again, whenever you say black love, black rights matter, anything pro-black, white people think that you're against them. I'm here, and I've always been here to say we're not against you in that whenever we say what we say.
We just for our people.
I've never heard a white saying that has ever been pro-black in the same regards. But we're just together. Anytime you hear American military, black, white, I don't give a fuck. American military, you all fighting for the fucking same thing. You should all be on the same.
And they all got each other back the same way.
You know what I'm saying?
They know it's life or death.
The same protocol, but like there shouldn't be a different protocol from the black folks in the south of right now of Atlanta fighting, or south of Atlanta fighting in the fucking south of Greece against or Ukraine. It should be a collective effort. I'm not a war expert. The fuck do I know about war?
I don't know shit about it.
The fuck
I got a lot of relatives that went to war though, but
I know about happiness.
Shout out to them.
I know about happiness. I know zero about diplomacy.
We gotta listen. Shot for the road. Shout out to the troops, everybody that fought for our freedom and our relatives and everything. San Diego is a military town as well, gang banging. So salute to the troops.
Hell gang bangers.
We out of here.
And military gang bangers.
Shots with motherfucking Shooter, man. Military gang bangers.
I'm a king. I'm a king. Said I'm a king.